Hi, my name is Cindy Johnston. I'm a Fairfield resident and mother of 2 girls who are 4th grade and 6th grade. Last year, many of you know, there was an incident in Fairfield where there was a young girl who was attacked, and fortunately she did the smart thing. She screamed and she was able to escape. But that incident got me thinking as a mother, what would my children have done if they had been in that situation? And quite frankly, I hadn't had those conversations with them. So I started to look online, and my idea was that I would sign up for a course with them so that we could talk about it and arm them with enough knowledge that they avoid those situations and have some skills to save themselves if they are put in an awkward situation. Unfortunately, when I started to look, we really don't offer a lot of courses locally that are aimed at middle school age children. So I thought about starting a class on my own, and quickly realized I don't have the capabilities or skills or bandwidth to do that. So I reached out to the Fairfield Police Department and first asked, is there a program that exists for children like my 6th grade daughter that I don't know about? And unfortunately, I was right that there weren't any programs that were currently in existence, at least in the Fairfield area. So I proposed to the police department, would they be willing to work with me to develop a program, one that we could even open up to other communities over time. And Sergeant Perez of the Fairfield Police Department was very excited. He jumped all over it and worked with his contacts. We worked together to research existing programs to come up with a curriculum that we thought was appropriate.
90% of self-defense is awareness, risk reduction, and avoiding confrontation. The other 10% is the application of techniques to get away. This is what this show is about, awareness and avoidance.
So the class that we're putting together is a class that will take one evening. It's targeted at mothers and daughters taking the course together so that after the class you can continue to discuss and practice these tools at home. The balance of the class, the main focus is really about awareness. So it's teaching our kids to be aware of their environment, to be aware of themselves and how they're interacting with the environment. When there are situations that their gut tells them aren't right, trust your gut and avoid those situations. So really this is mostly, avoiding, being aware of and avoiding risky situations.
I asked my Aikido instructor, Corey Gilbo, to help demonstrate some techniques that children can use that are simple and safe in getting away.
Get away from me!
A child's voice is one of the most important tools they can use in a situation where they are attacked or grabbed. Oftentimes, a young child is not going to be strong enough to have the muscle to fight their way out. But making a lot of noise and yelling can be extremely useful. It alerts people nearby that there's trouble, and it also sends a message to the aggressor that this child is not going to go easy, that they have a very high likelihood of being spotted. And many times, if you make enough noise, the person will get away. The tricky part comes when you try to get a child to yell loudly. We have a culture that encourages children to be quiet in the library and school at home, and it's very hard to encourage them to yell. So I recommend that parents pick a scheduled time where they actually have children practice yelling. When we're teaching self-defense to children, we try to create a situation where a game we play, we'll come up and put our hands on the back of a child's shoulders, and they have to instinctively remember to turn and yell at us. And this gives them an opportunity to practice spontaneously using their voice to startle an aggressor, to create a situation to escape, and to alert people around them that they're in trouble and they need some help. So what we're going to talk about today is how to avoid or evade someone who's grabbing at your shoulders and either trying to push you back or pull you forward. A lot of times when you're younger, you're not as physically strong, you can't muscle your way out of this. But the body has a lot of weak points on it that, when stimulated with a pinch, can give you enough time to get away. So what I'd like you to do is, when you go to pinch, I want you to take, and rather than pinching with your thumb and your forefinger, just a little pinch, I want you to use all 4 fingers and really dig in at what is a very soft skin under my triceps, okay? So first, gently, if I'm just holding, reach up, give it a good tweak. Harder, harder, good tweak. Ah, good. Now, this time, I'm going to add a little bit of force. I'm going to push you back. I want you to squeeze and grab, and the minute I let go, I want you to back away as fast as you can, okay? Back away faster, but otherwise good. So the next situation we're going to talk about is another common situation where someone comes up and grabs a child by the elbow and is trying to pull them away. So in this instant, he comes up to grab. If he pulls away, the natural tendency of a child is to dig in and pull back. The trouble is, keep holding. The trouble is that this makes the aggressor more aggressive. They're going to pull harder. The child becomes more intimidated. So instead, in this situation, when he grabs, he's pulling. I'm going to move with him, but evade in such a way that I move with his body. So even if I'm smaller and don't have the strength, right, I can move with him, but cut across his back in a way that he can't hold on. Then I can continue to run.
Help!
The next situation we're going to deal with is an attack from behind, which is another common situation. Someone may come up and try to grab around my neck, causing me both a chokehold, but also trying to drag me back. Again, a child who gets nervous in this situation is going to fight and struggle, which is only going to amplify the condition. So this time, let go, please. When he comes in, the first instinct is to tuck the chin low. Go ahead, Paul, please. Tuck my chin in so that he can't grab. Then as he's pulling, all I'm going to do is drop down and bow forward, which is going to cause him to lever over my body, at which time I can get up and get away. This works equally well for someone small, smaller than him. Again, he goes down, but the child can get up and run.
Get away from me!
Ultimately, we need a good definition of self-defense. Self-defense isn't about fighting back or kicking or punching your way out of trouble. It's about creating a moment where you can escape a dangerous situation. To do that, really, self-awareness is the first part. Your posture, your ability to make eye contact, the ability to use your voice when you're confronted with an aggressive situation, to make noise, to set off an alarm, to alert people that you're in trouble. These are very important tools for a child to use against full-grown adults who are always going to be stronger than them. When you don't have strength, you can use your voice, you can use a handful of small tools and tactics to evade escape, to create a moment of pain where the aggressor lets go and you can run. Self-defense is about becoming safe, not about fighting back. I can't emphasize that enough. The last part of that means running away. And I think it's very important that children stay in enough physical condition that they can sprint a couple hundred yards to get to a safe place. When you can run away, you can get safe, and learning self-defense is just creating the moment where you can run.
Welcome back. What a segment. That was quite a presentation on disruptive event. I love that concept, because it seems like it might be a difficult concept, but it really isn't. It's a simple concept that once you get, you kind of understand. How did you come up with that concept?
That's just it. Oftentimes there's complicated problems, and we try to come up with complicated solutions. A disruptive event really tries to simplify the problem. Disruptive, and then take action accordingly. I want to thank Frank Arnone, the principal of Holland Hill School, as well as Cindy from the PTA president, as you heard her, for having us there. I know you were there. I think it was well received, and we clearly believe that we'll probably be doing more of those presentations at other elementary schools.
I'll tell you, you're right. I was there, and I got to tell you, the community spirit that really, it's really alive in town, and it's really nice to see that.
A lot of people came out for that, and I think they got a lot out of it. Yes. Yeah, we've had the other presentations. Obviously, you've seen the information with regards to some of the actions taken, and I know they discussed the proper posture, and it's not really a fighting, it's more kind of giving them the skills to prevent something from occurring.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, we can't expect kids to overtake someone that's so much bigger than them, but they can be effective, and they can do it in a way where they can run away and actually help to save themselves, and at the same time draw attention to themselves, which is really the important thing that we want to teach all our children.
Want to make it always in their mind and always aware of safety. That's important.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now we're at that point where we get the Ask the Police segment. Any questions with regards to asking the police? And I know we've gotten a lot of questions.
Yes,
this is the time when we share with you some questions and we try to answer them. Most of them dealing with snow removal, when you should, how you should drive in the snow. And as you can tell, we've taken a couple shows off, so we don't really have to address the snow issues until next November, December.
We actually took a car and went out and drove in the snow so we can kind of learn from it, so we can pass that on to you.
So the next time. So we're still looking for some questions, but keep in mind that as the springtime comes up, our motorcycle patrols are going to be out there doing some traffic enforcement, and so we always want to remind you that as the weather, this isn't really a question. We'll give you an answer without a question. As the weather gets nicer, we want you to remember that there's going to be more activity in the streets, more pedestrians, more people out in the streets, and we want you to drive safer to ensure that the pedestrians and you as well get home safely.
Absolutely. It's going to be a great spring and a great summer. We want you to be safe and actually following these safety tips.
Sure. So
Very
again, we
important.
encourage people to send any information, any questions they may have via email or via regular mail here at police headquarters.
Absolutely. And we will be here next show, and we're going to have an exciting light-up that we'll be talking about during our next episode.
And just remember that if one person asks it, then 1,000 think it. So we really want you to share your thoughts, ideas, and concerns with us so that we can improve the show.
Yeah, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you. Just a little bonus fact at the end of our show, police South Benson Marina building project is ongoing down at South Benson Marina. If you haven't had a chance to go down there, we're renovating the entire building, putting a second floor on it, most with the contributions from the community.
Yeah, it's amazing. Really, if you want to go down to the marina and take a look for yourself, it's a true example of when the community comes together, what can be done. It's really quite something.
Putting a banner up to kind of highlight who's contributed so far. So that should be up soon. A lot of people doing a lot of time and a lot of money and a lot of effort into the building project. We're happy to announce we are actually doing a brick walkway and selling bricks that can be engraved for the project.
And I'll tell you, those bricks, you have to get one, because once you do that, you and your family will be pretty much immortalized forever, which is great.
I'm getting a brick.
So am I.
Okay.
I might get 2 of them.
Okay, there you go. Buy a brick
Thanks.
and go down there if you get a chance. Thanks.
Thanks.